Jay-Z, all right, is for the first time ever being outed by, and I'm not going to call him a former Mason because when I watch Tucker Carlson's interview, I don't watch a lot of podcasts, but I watch this. I told you white Twitter is lit, bro. Okay. He said Jay-Z's name for a reason, and then he said it, and then he went on to explain who the Freemasons are, what they believe in, the spirituality, the symbols, the context of it, and it just got my brain running. You know, because I follow Black culture and how it integrates into white culture, and and this right here, like I said, oh, he did that for a reason. He only name dropped Jay-Z for a reason because they're done with him. But go ahead, here we go.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.
Let's get high, yeah, you know I'm about to roll. Let's get please, yeah, you know I gotta pull. Let's live life, yeah, once I'm about to turn up. Get fly, oh, for sure it's about to go up. Let's get high, yeah, you know I'm about to roll. Let's get please, yeah, you know I gotta pull. Let's live life, yeah, once I'm about to turn up. Get fly, oh, for sure it's about to go up. Roll my blunt and pass my lighter.
Alright, y'all, we're back. This might be interesting here. I like Tasha K's content, and y'all saw the title, The Rapping Camel. I hadn't watched this yet. I seen the little intro. I watched a piece of the intro, and when she got to the part where she said, because they're done with him, that was enough for me. So, y'all know how we do here. We break down the content, review and react to it. I want to thank you guys for being here first and foremost. It's making a huge difference in the channel, and I'm sure y'all can see it. I had a few days where I didn't upload, and it was camera purposes, but we're back with the blurry background and the colors and the vibrancy and all that good stuff. So we about to rock out. Make sure y'all let me know where you're tapping in from. Let me know how long you've been here or what time you got to upload, or anyways, let's get to the content.
Okay, so Sean Stone.
I'll put it like this. The first night that I went there,
where was this?
The Cornerstone Lodge in New York, which is a very famous lodge. People like Jay-Z, go there and whatnot. It's, it's
Jay-Z's a Mason?
Yeah, from my understanding, he was with that lodge as well, but higher than I was. But the point is that it's an initiation that kind of what I felt was being observed and watched, and I know it was watched because after doing the first degree initiation, where you get the blindfold and the noose and all this stuff is online. I'm not revealing some secrets. All the phrases and things, the geometry of it, where you have to walk, certain directions and points and say certain things, all that's online now, it's public. But when you perform it ritualistically like a play, there are other forces that are not human that are engaging in the experience. And I know that because when I was leaving the lodge that night with my friend, we got a phone call. And it was an unknown number. And this sort of husky voice was on the phone. And he was like, "How was the meeting?" And I was like, "It's an interesting game you guys have going here." And it's like, And we were just talking a bit, saying a lot of things that were like biblical, 40 days in the cave, some stuff that I didn't understand. But I knew that they were watching me because I was walking back to my apartment in New York. And I'm like, "Oh, so you're watching me?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, what am I doing?" He's like, "You're walking." So I stopped walking. And I'm like, "Oh yeah?" He's like, "Yeah, you stopped walking." And I was like, "Okay, it could be a guess, but let's just go up, continue the conversation, go upstairs." And I had like a gray shirt on and black pants. And after, I started recording the conversation. The audio did not record subsequently, only the video recorded. But as I was recording, it was this man's voice, and then it would be a woman that would take over. So it was like two voices. It was one as a man, one as a woman. And then she basically said, "Stop recording." And I was like, I didn't stop. I would maybe like stop for a minute, then I turn it back on. And I had at that time I had a cross on. It was not a cross. It was a Islamic sword that I had
What about
as a
White
necklace.
talking about?
And so I was taking my shirt off, and she's like, "Put your shirt back on." And I was like, "Oh, you don't like this symbol, or what's wrong?" And it was like, "Put your shirt back on." And I'm like, we just continued to talk. But there were a few things that I remember distinctly, including her saying, "I'll leave you with this. You're wearing a gray shirt with black pants." So something had been observing me that night, and they continued to talk with me, and it was essentially, they texted me thereafter, and it was like it went on for an hour or so, like off and on. My friend who took me there got really sick to his stomach. He was like vomiting actually after that, during that same time that I was on the phone, and he really was like physically out of it. And so I was conversing with these things for like an hour. And again, a lot of it was about the fallen angels.
That's crazy work. Crazy work. Let's focus on the rapping camel part. He said that Jay was a higher ranking than him, and they went through the initiation and things like that, and that got a reaction out of me. I wanted to interview this guy, and he was telling me very surface level things about his initiation, and it was the same thing. The total same thing. This dude didn't mention Jay-Z's name for no reason. Do I think that bro is no longer useful to those people? I think he's still useful. I really do. Do I think they're going to be doing away with him soon? It could be possible. It could be very well possible, because if you notice, it's a bunch of things happening with bro that never usually happened. He's taking this time to do interviews and this and that. What did he do before he tried to go out and touch the people? No pun intended. Yeah. Anyways, I could see this whole thing being a thing. There's too much coming out, no matter if it's alleged or whatever. It's too much coming out about this company, and his name's circulating. I'm noticing that there's not a lot of reinforcement behind it. It feels really different now. I mean, if y'all notice, I wouldn't even do too many stories on bro as of lately, but I used to. But I noticed the algorithm didn't too much like it, so I'm just like, you know what? Let me back away from that. And his chick too. But I think they're gearing up for something. Real talk. I don't think he has that stronghold that he used to, that everybody's used to. How he got it, I don't know. This dude could tell people to stop drinking this, they gonna stop drinking that. Come on, man. Yo, the 30s is the new 20s. No, it wasn't. He stunted the growth of a whole culture. Make that make sense. Bro really stunted the growth of a whole culture. The 30s are the new 20s. Let's continue.
Listen, shout out to Tucker Carlson for getting that interview. It was dense, and you do. I want to tell you this before you watch that interview. You can't believe in you gotta. I'm not gonna say you can't believe in anything, but you do gotta set aside your your current beliefs to be able to understand what they're trying to explain to you. Okay, and he does talk about Christianity. He does talk about Islam and all of that stuff. And he said most Freemasons are Christian-like. You know, but shout out to, his name is Sean Stone. He is, and it's kind of a, Freemasonry. He says, even though I'm not a part of it, we're forever Masons because we've been indoctrinated. It is a spiritual cult, and they have spiritual beliefs that they believe in at the highest degree. So some things that I just want to point out, because I do want you guys to go watch the interview, but we've been covering Jay-Z and him being used as a puppet for a long time, because in these very tight knit cult like I don't know, organizations, everybody needs somebody to help them with something, okay? And even though he said in his interview, he said, I don't think Freemasons are evil, but I also don't think that they're not evil. I just feel that he just says that he feels that they're people that just believe in what they believe in, and they definitely believe in the parallel, which is black and white, good and evil, and which energy they're going to play in today. They're going to play wholeheartedly in whatever energy that they feel that they need in order to obtain what it is that they want. What it is that you want, you shall obtain, okay? And, they use geometric symbols all the time. Jay-Z, it's Rocket Nation, it's Rocket Nation. Where we've had scholars come out and say, no, that is the pyramid, that is the money sign, that is the Freemason sign. And if he wants to say that it's Rock Nation, it was derived from Freemason. So they're not going to let Jay-Z brand something and claim ownership to it. So they came right behind his ass to say, that's ours. And you can take a look at the clips here from this interview that he just recently did to come out here to try to clean up his brand. This is Jay-Z sitting right there, and they make sure they sit like this. Because when they sit like this, and when you watch this interview, they invite in non-human forces, as what this white man, Sean Stone, was saying on Tucker Carlson. So when you see him sit a certain way and he's like this, he's inviting in non-human forces to help control the energy of the room for him so that he can maneuver it and use the interview to create and disseminate propaganda, which Sean Stone talked about in depth during his Tucker Carlson interview, is that, the Masons have been around for a long time, and they started with radio, with putting out propaganda. Then radio moved to songs, and songs were 3 minutes, and so they would put their signs and their symbols and their language in the songs. And then he even talked about how it's being done intentionally, ran by a lot of Freemasons who happen to be Jews, that disseminate these songs that tell society, and it's like chants and spiritual songs and poets, to what they're doing and what they plan on doing. And Jay-Z, because of his influence in the black culture, it wasn't because of him, it was because they put him in a position to be that way. He had to ensure that he pay homage to said cult in every single video that he does. And so you'll always see him wearing black and white. The first time I noticed it, because, I don't know if you noticed, he did an interview with a 19-year-old boy that was asking him questions and really wasn't asking him questions. It was his interview, and he, drove the interview and invited in non-human forces to protect him from whatever was trying to be told about him, because he no longer has the protection that he used to have, when Epstein was alive.
I thought those clips were very interesting. Shout out to Tasha K. Real talk, because she's going through stuff with some labels and individuals allegedly, and I understand the jeopardy that comes with speaking like this. To sit a certain way and invite non-human forces to guide you through certain things. Come on, man. She spoke about the dualism, the parallel, the black and the white. Come on, man. It's right in our faces. Every time. All the time. That's why you see those colors in a lot of music videos and the clothing. I don't care if it's zebra pattern clothing or even the tiger stripes and stuff like that. It's a certain type symbolism for MK Ultra, allegedly. But it's right in our faces. This dude said in that interview, and he told the little dude, it's no person that controls this, no one person controls that. I gotta shut my patio, Lord. Anyway, he sat there and told dude that nobody controls this or controls that, but then goes on to control what this man says, or how he proposes a question or formed a question. Or it's like, bro, come on. Who gave this dude so much power? I'm about to shut this patio. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Or same button. Jeez. that little bug just threw me off. It just be getting so warm, and I like the crisp air. It's like 5 in the morning right now, so yeah. Anyways, thanks for being here. Let me know where you're tapping in from. Let me know what time you got the notification. Let me know if you're rocking with the longer uploads. I'm out. Peace.